You guys think that if you're unhappy, that's a good reason to leave a marriage? See?
I don't think you're gonna be happy all the time. So it depends. How long have I been unhappy?
Right.
Because my kids are seeing that.
Right.
I think that matters too. Like
Most things I think
there's a lot of people.
It don't have anything to do with age, getting married too late. People don't have the intestinal fortitude for marriage. You get up there and say these vows. It's duty and responsibility, time and pain. It's the kids. It's the rearing. It's lineage and legacy. That's a joke in itself.
But is that not part of the kids? So your kids are a direct reflection of you. So if my kids are seeing me unhappy, now what?
What are you talking about?
Because you said happiness in the marriage because you just said that kids are part of it, right?
Let me explain it to you. You're conflating your happiness with how the kids are treated, right? I'm not even talking about the kids. I'm talking about you being happy, right? I just said that about sex, so don't act like you can't do it about everything else. So now that we have a baseline with that, you can fake it till you make it in front of them kids all the time. Now, kids have discernment. I understand that, but happiness doesn't mean everything has to be egregious in the household. However, we know ebb and flow. Is that a thing, or are we dismissing postpartum?
Postpartum depression.
Do we have menopause?
Right.
And so you guys go through these ebb and flow periods where your happiness is intrinsically not working.
But that's why I agree.
But I'm just saying, but you put it on the kids. Like, no, answer my question directly based on happiness itself.
I did, but I said it depends on how long I've been unhappy. Raising my kids in a house where there's no happiness is not
selfish.
That's not life goals.
No,
just for the sake to say I have a husband. Are you serious?
No, you made a commitment under the Most High God, right? Unless you don't believe.
Who cares about the commitment if I'm unhappy and I'm dying inside?
No, don't interrupt them, Melly. Sorry, Nikki, what you say?
I'm not staying unhappy for 10 months. You talking about 10 years?
Well, I've stayed unhappy for a very, very long time. But who is going to continuously stay in an unhealthy marriage where you're burning inside, you're dying inside, you done forgot who you are, you done forgot your self-worth, and you're just super unhappy, like depressed to that point, just to say I have a husband and I have a family? But
I think that we know how hoes are created. Callie said it earlier. Something about they ain't had their daddy, their daddy didn't love them. That's one. Secondly, most of these hoes been hurt by a man. Just like these niggas that been hurt by women, they become hoes. It's the same thing.
Savage.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Even with what Callie is saying, the lack of love, hopelessness, a deficit, desperation. That's all the same umbrella. I'm desperate for the love of a real man because a man never loved me. So I'm out there searching for the love of a man. But because I don't know how to properly find love from a man because I never experienced it. So now from these worst experiences that I've had and the damage that I've had from men, I'm telling you now, I'm only going to use them for what I like them for because there's no possibility that they could ever even try to love me correctly. And I'm so lost on love, so in the deficit, I'll be desperate. And a lot of women have seen this. The girl come up here, Hamp, remember the girl that came up here who was cosplaying a man? She was a whole butch, calling the women male-centered up here. You're trying to become them niggas. Talk about worship when you think you're fucking up a storm because you're a man and you're acting like a man. That's male worship down to the ground.
So the women who are promiscuous, are we saying they're all desperate?
Majority. I'm not saying that, but I know.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like in my point in my life, I feel like I was being groomed to cater to him.
So at 18, when did you guys break up or stop dealing with each other?
When I was 21, turning 22.
So you were for about 3 to 4 years. How did you upgrade him?
Oh shit. I think that I gave him a different perspective.
Well, you also feel like after you dated him, I upgraded you, and then all these women want you after what I did for you.
Bro, he was 18, bro. Like, you grilling him, bro. What the fuck?
Because it's hard to imagine an 18-year-old girl upgrading a 28-year-old man, but then like you left curious, what could you have possibly really done to a man that age? Like, you don't have no money, you 18, you don't have much knowledge, you 18.
But what we're witnessing is cognitive dissonance. So there's no way you admonish the man by saying that you upgraded him and then in another breath say he groomed you. Those two things are diametrically opposed, right? And then you said age don't matter, people could be wise beyond their years. However, when Tamia gave you the bail money about you being 18, you're like, yeah, I was just 18. Nah, because remember you just said that you had the wisdom and understanding of somebody older than that, which is what you would be able to bestow on him, right? Ooh. So these things are conflicting when we saying them. Did you actually upgrade him, or was you mad and talking shit to him because he cheated on? Are most of us cowards? Are most of us willing to kill and die for our wife and children? Are we willing to defend ourselves? Do we know what it looks like when shit is hitting the fan? Do we know when danger is actually upon us? How many dangerous situations have we been in to tell? Do we know who we are in these ways? I'm gonna just tell y'all this. If you are in a real life situation and a person approaches you after an aggressive conversation, get yourself in a position in which you can defend yourself properly. So don't stay in a position that doesn't give you any advantage but put you at a disadvantage. Don't ever do that. see people picking and choosing, you know? So if I'm going to approach you in an aggressive manner, then I should stay that way. Or else you look bad. That shit look corny. That shit don't look good for men. Because it's like, damn, is there a low-level threat of violence between men for real? But that's the word. We pump faking. We half stepping. That shit take away from our strength, our bravado, when we don't know how this shit's supposed to go. So this is a thing that I just been trying to process, man. Don't sleep on nobody. And be ready. Be ready as you can. The man says he got cheated on, and you tell him he's the reason why he got cheated on because she didn't feel like she was getting enough emotional support from him, and you justify him getting cheated on.
And like I said, that's unfortunate. But the person that he
got cheated on, you would have been like, "Girl, that nigga ain't shit."
No, first of all, you don't know me, so you don't know what I would have said. I would have asked, well, what happened? What did you do? What did he do? I was trying to get the full story. But to just go on this I hate women train, I'm not about to do that. Like I said, give us the full details. But to just act like everything was just shine the rainbow, sorry, Uno, but it's more to it.
Right.
So I just want you to realize real quick, she was emotionally deprived. You think
and then she entered a relationship with him.
But no, you can't add that speculation on. What we do know, based on what he shared, and somehow you're saying he emotionally deprived her. You think that correlates?
Because before she probably sexually had that experience with that man, she probably emotionally attached herself to him.
Why would you think that?
Because as y'all like to just say that women just go and just be loose and just have sex.
You do. Remember we had the conversation.
But the majority of women, they are going to emotionally, the majority of women going to emotionally attach themselves to a man.
How?
And then have the intercourse.
How do you know that?
Because I know. The same way y'all know. The same way that y'all know everything that y'all done talked about all
No, what I'm saying is, how do you know that, and how can you justify that based on women's behavior?
Because it's statistics. Somebody do the research.
If she has a dream about me cheating, am I at fault now?
You did that shit.
You did that shit, nigga. You did that shit in your past life, man.
Damn, boy. So he got hit with a honey bun and it's his fault. Okay.
That's like a boomerang.
I mean, I don't know his situation. How much would you say yes or no?
Well, she let another man put his penis in her vagina. He didn't ask her to do it. She just went and did it because or whatever.
So, I mean, I don't know how necessarily it's his fault unless he, maybe he's seen the signs and just chose to ignore them. But other than that, like, I'm pretty sure you left after you found out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he did the right thing.
Stepping away from it. So, is that an assurance for a partner? Is that an option as well? Like,
fellas,
like open book?
I got you. Real quick. Hey, fellas, if you dealing with a woman and she call you a partner, get up out of there. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Let me log in that joint whenever I feel like it. Yeah, I think that will work for sure. Yo, that accountability helps people too. If you know somebody else is looking at this shit, like how you reply, what you reply to, the bullshit, right? So like, for instance, this might be risky. Callie and I can see it, and my wife can see it. Now, I don't even really look at it that much because I know that they be looking at it. But also, bullshit get flushed. You know what I'm saying? It like take a weight off you, Right? Because temptation killed the cat. Pun intended.
I don't even have a lock on my phone. You can pick up my phone at any moment and go in there and look and see text messages and all of that shit.
Don't get a password. You say delete it, it's gonna be deleted. You mentioned that one of the problems was that you have so much access on social media. Like some people can message you, DM, your DMs popping. Him looking at it, is that going to satisfy him that it's confirmed now, or is he just trying to confirm whether or not you're responding back and cheating?
The con to that is that he gonna read all that shit the wrong way for sure.
Every time,
as he should. It ain't never all good.
I was just gonna say something to the effect of, in terms of social media, although primarily I do it for content creation. If my man had an issue with it, I was at it, no questions asked, because I've actually been there, done that.
It calls for strokes. Like somebody will punch you in your shit for talking too much and talking crazy.
It say that in the Bible? No, it doesn't say that in the Bible. That also equates to.
I knew it. A fool lips enter into contention and his mouth calleth for strokes. Proverbs 18:6.
Okay.
Because I read this shit. I'm just saying
I
about.
did too, 5,000 times.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, well, you didn't know that was in there, right?
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out.
So.
Yeah. It's a broadcast. subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. DJ Hamp about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Yeah, it's a podcast. It's a podcast. It's a podcast, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. DJ Hamp about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Run, it's just a damn beat. DJ Hamp, the stamp.
DJ Hamp, the stamp.
Boom.
Yo, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. DJ Hamp, the stamp. People in the building. This might be risky. Salute to everybody in the building so far. Please hit the like button. We got 80 people in the building. We have 30 likes, man. Salute to the call-in show. My bad, Kasim. What did you say? My apologies, man. Salute to everybody who in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button, please. That helps the channel the most. Kasim, retype it, man. I think I had started, but I did indeed miss it because there's a couple different categories I got to click on to see it. So that's on me, man. My bad. Let me see in the chat real quick and we get it popping, man, before we had this conversation. The link will be dropped and pinned to the top of the chat. It's a call-in show. You do not have to be on camera. They'll be able to hear your voice. Just make sure you say your name and where you're checking in from so that we understand who to indict if your comments are trash.
Run, it's just a damn beat. DJ Hamp, the stamp.
DJ Hamp, the stamp.
Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Let me go ahead. One of the moderators, do me a favor. Pin this link to the top of the chat so that people who want to call in, they know how to do so. And we get it popping, man. Let me see you in the chat real quick. Chat is now open. That's a fact, though. Do see what's popping. Teague in the building. Imperial, top of the morning, man. Salute, salute, salute. Cali putting in work. That's always a blessing. Appreciate you. There he is. What's popping, my brother? E-Dub in the building. Almond Eyes was shaking. Aaron Rand, Shalom. No Country for Old Simp. Salute. OG Vet Life in the building. What's popping, man? Hope all is well. T-Mac, what up, Ox? Shalom. American Negro in the building. Salute. OG Black America was popping. Hope all is well. Audie was shaking, my G. Good to see you and all that. The Majesty was popping. OG Sigma, you already. Hope all is well. My brother Thad in the building. Salute, 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 man. Hit the like button. Get your tickets to Houston Meetup from the 25th to the 28th. You never leave Houston on a Sunday. Thank you, Callie. Quincy, appreciate you. Hope all is well. Good to see you, my brother. Good shit in the Get Fit room. Chris C was popping, man. Salute, salute, man. I want to say Chrissy been locked in with the family. Welcome to it, man. Salute. Deucey was good, my G. Serena in the building. Salute, salute. Hey, Miss Jilly. Make sure y'all say this up to Miss Jilly in the chat, please. Mrs. Locks, top of the top. Missy T, salute, salute. It's been a couple of days. I ain't seen you, man. Hope all is well. Once again, Kasim, let me know what the message was so I can make sure I put it up here because our 28 month is a lot of love and support, man. I appreciate my OGs for sure. Mr. Williams was popping. Nay was goody. Hope all is well. Melly Mel was good, my G. Nick the Magnificent. What up, Nick? Good to see you, man. Hope everything's everything. Mahogany in the building. You all ready, man? When Chime was popping. GA, salute, salute, salute. Relly was good. Hope all is well. Hope everything is everything. Impress was goody. Queen T in the building. Tyson, what up, my brother? I appreciate you. You as well. You heard? CC was popping. You already, man. My brother JJ been putting in work in that Get Fit room, man. I'm proud of you, man. Keep grinding. You heard? Lawrence was popping. Yeah, can somebody pin that link, please? You guys should be able to. Let me know if you can't. Kasim, his comment from last night as a 28-month supporter and cousin of the channel. So this is what Kasim said last night regarding the conversation. Most people look at wrong as bad instead of wrong being the precursor to change. I think the change is so isn't automatic, right? I don't know, Kasim. I guess you're right in terms of hoping that people will do a bad thing, see a bad thing, say a bad thing, and promise not to duplicate it, or at least make an effort not to do so. But how often do we see that, right? And how long can people maintain it, you know? Right, Shar, Trinell, salute. Homeboy, Shalom was popping. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you, man, for sure. Impress, Miss Jilly, okay. Tiff. I don't know. I like Army Green mostly, Tiff. Salute to my sis Tiff in the building. Let me know if y'all can't pin the link. I'll pin it to the top. But I think it says you guys should have the ability to do so. Okay, somebody pinned it. So we good. Let me see. All right. What up, though?
Perfect. Like that.
Yeah, I did that.
I thought this was the perfect topic to talk about on the call-in show, right? Because I think it deserves an unadulterated thought, right? In terms of diatribe or soliloquy. Because I think we've been getting this wrong for a long time, but willfully, right? Because we also mention and acknowledge how much tone, approach, and how people talk to you matters so much, right? In every single situation. You know, think about this, right? You see the picture. What if I say, Callie crossing the street, and I say, hey, car's coming, you better look out. She's walking. She not even have her, just a distraction. Phone in her hand, whatever the case is. Hey, car's coming. You better look out. That tone, does it make sense for that conversation and situation? Hey, Callie, a car's coming. You better look out. Does it make sense to convey that thought in that way? I think the obvious answer is no, right? Because the situation calls for a much sharper, harsher, louder tone, right? You have to get their attention, right? You want to convey the seriousness of the situation, right? Bino, salute. You want to convey the seriousness of the situation. Not only do I raise my voice, but I change my tone to an urgent one, right? Right? It has to be urgent. It has to convey the seriousness and the danger of the situation, right? Especially when it's a high alert and you have this much time. You change the tone on purpose. Tone denotes the temperature of the situation. Does it not? If my tone is serious and stern, it denotes the temperature, brevity of the situation. Think about this. Children, dogs, right? You can say the same thing, but if you change your tone, they get a different effect. It's no different with adults. right? The denotation is in the tone. Let me cite this, right? Facetious, snarky, passive aggressive. Those people, how you catch them being those things is because of the tone they take with you. A dismissive tone, right? They repeat what you said in a joking manner, right? But it's the tone is how you know somebody's being facetious. The tone they take is how you know they being passive aggressive. The tone they take is how you know they being snarky. You straight? You straight? You good? My nigga, you good? What's good, my nigga? What's good, my nigga? But we want to ignore tone all of a sudden when we think that the message is more valuable than how it's being conveyed. Tone allows you to discern and understand the energy. But we conveniently say tone doesn't matter because we want to excuse ourselves from having to take the proper tone given the conversation. People dismiss things anyway. Right? Because I was just thinking about this, right? If I say, Chugga Wugga, go pick up your toys. Okay. What the fuck you talking to? Huh? Yes, sir. Oh, okay. All right. He said, Chugga Wugga, go pick up your toys. Okay, daddy. Okay. I might let it slide if he don't say yes, sir. Chugga Wugga, go pick up your toys. Okay. The fuck you talking to? Boy. If tone don't matter, why your woman can't talk to you any kind of way? If tone don't matter, why do we always seem to get there every time people have a harsh tone? We get to characterize or mischaracterize people based on their tone. If tone don't matter, why your wife can't yell at you? Why she can't talk to you how she talked to her girlfriends? If tone don't matter. Are we thinking? Are we thinking? Are we processing this? If tone don't matter, why is there a low-level threat of violence amongst men? Because, my nigga, you can't talk to me no type of way. You can disrespect me without cussing me out. You can disrespect me by talking down to me. Talking down to people is literally in how you saying what you saying. It literally is saying it how you saying it. It's even less about what you saying. Why do we call people uppity, bougie? Because of how they moving around, how they talk to you. The level of respect that is or isn't in their message and what's being conveyed. But we got to this, tone don't matter. I should just be able to take the message from whoever as long as the information is good. Why? Why? That's why everybody can't coach and teach. Because people, generally speaking, are different, right? So I'm not saying you change your methods, right? You make the kids, the people, the people in your fitness class, in the boxing gym, right? In college, you have to convey these messages a few different ways. Not compromising your integrity, but you have to be able to convey the message in a few different ways to get through to all the people that you're responsible for. that you have to give the information to. They say she get caught up. I say, bitch, I got the cure for cancer. She get focused on the bitch and she forget about the cure for cancer part. Well, what about the motherfucker that got the need to say bitch in the first place? Here's where it gets sticky though. Pause. At what point is it no longer on the person conveying the message? At what point do you get upset and say, all right, enough is enough? You are willfully ignoring what I'm saying, regardless of how I'm saying it. I 100% agree with that. However, right, if you get to you at your wit's end too early, right, they got a cop out. They got an excuse. But if I'm conveying a message well and clearly, now they don't get to use my tone as an excuse. Because I've said it to you several different ways, several different times. You still chose to ignore it. Now I'm speaking to you directly and harshly. After you understanding the expectation, you no longer get to use my tone against me. You no longer get to use my tone against me at that juncture. Now it's definitely you. Right? But if I'm conveying a message in a way in which it's palatable and it's still being ignored, when I have to get stern with you, when I have to become austere towards you, shout out to Jesus, you don't get to complain now. Nah, that's not how that works. But I see passive aggressive people do that shit. Right? Because they try to act like they tone ain't toning. Right? That's how the ladies be saying that shit. And then passive aggressive people be talking how they talking, right? And if somebody catch it and jump on their ass, and they be saying, oh, no, nah, motherfucker, because your tone. Your tone. I caught it. I didn't miss it. You speaking softly don't change nothing. But I think it's foolish, though, that we say that. Because you can't talk to me no type of way. You have to be respectful to me. That includes your delivery of information. Right? But we literally say it matters and it makes a difference. It makes a difference in any given conversation. If I have to save Sherelle from crossing the street, my tone is going to be harsh as hell, loud and everything. That's what that situation calls for. Right? Even body language. If I come sprinting past the guys, right? Yeah. What you thinking? If you outside, we on the block, we chilling, whatever the case is, we at a park. Dude come sprinting past, right? What's my next move? I start to do the little hop, skip. I'm trying to look where the fuck he coming from, where he running from, right? And I'm not on the ready, right? I'm out of there. Now, what if he come jogging by? I'm not on alert, right? He could be running from a gunfight, but he just right? Because I'm not getting the read. Then somebody come through with it, whatever the case is, danger coming, right? But he casual about it. I can't get the energy from that. What you saying is important. How you say it is equally important. Depending on your goal. If you want to antagonize, then forget tone, right? But also just don't worry about being effective. If you want to be salacious, forget tone. Just don't get mad when people are missing your message. People are ready to dismiss anyway. especially a person who they don't like, don't respect, and the person can't convey a message well. The order is what should be in question, right? But I think that we've been kind of harping on tone don't matter for too long, and it especially matters with men. That's why you get your head knocked the fuck off for being disrespectful based on how you talking to them, based on how we talk to each other. We got to start putting things in a little bit better perspective, a more realistic perspective. Right? Because I think that the conversation quality is hurt by tenets that don't actually make sense, nor do people understand when they saying them. We just saying them for the sake of. But yeah, your tone can get you a hug, and your tone can get you punched in the face. You being snarky, condescending, get people not to like you. Passive aggressive, people don't prefer that. That's the person that irks you the most. Because we can't stand that tone.
It's a stampede!
DJ Hamp the Stamp. DJ Hamp the Stamp.
The link is pinned to the top of the chat. Salute to everybody in the building. We got 130 people in the building. We have 69 likes. Let's go ahead and hit the like button because that helps the channel the most. All right. See, I think generally speaking, most of the time I have a decent tone when having these conversations, like when we're not fooling around too much. So I think that I'm able to guard against the cop-out, of over pursuing, being overt, where you have to actually have the conversation. You have to actually have the conversation. You don't get to run because I'm being mean to you. Because people look for any type of cop-out. So I'm very cognizant of that fact. C says it's going to being too emotional. What person is emotional, CC? Sorry. Now I'm reading CC because she always show me support. Like every other day, every day. Shit, every day. So this is a super chat for real. Doesn't that go to being too emotional? What do you mean? Which party? Hold on. All right. So, let me bring my first guest up. Yo, caller. Who am I speaking with?
Good morning to my big little bro. How are you?
What's up, Tiff? We checking in from Dallas?
Checking in from D-Town, baby.
Indeed, man. Talk your shit.
No, Hamp, thank you so much for this conversation. I feel it personally. I do think you do a really good job of trying to find where people are. And what I can say is sometimes as a person that I think being in corporate America, I have dealing with a lot of non-Black people. The way that some communities communicate is real passive aggressive. So your ear is very fine tuned. And when you pick up on it, it's like, oh, you think I'm dumb, or you feel like you can play with me. And when I hear it, I take it so offensively that it's like, you could be saying everything right, but I'm like, did you really want me to receive this message, or did you just want to be right? And I start to question, like, what's the motive? Now I know you and we work together like, hey, yo, Tiff, look beyond that. Like, is what that person's saying is right? And it's like, everything is right, but the tone, like you you don't want me to receive this, because if you did, you wouldn't be coming at me like this. Like, it's the difference when people just don't get it, right? Because if you're ignorant, you're ignorant. And that's the thing, like, we've gotten to a point to where nobody wants to be ignorant because they don't understand that ignorant means you don't know. Ignorance to not knowing is one thing, right? You don't know what you don't know. But if I know, like it feels like you coming at me away, it's an insult to my intelligence. Like, you either one, you don't you don't respect me enough to try to measure how you coming at me. And then because you're saying it a particular way, you feel like you're making me look small when I'm only losing more respect for you. Because I know you know how to communicate, and I know that you're making a choice to be antagonistic. And then you're mad when I know you're really choosing war. It's just acceptable war. It's laced. And to me, that's even more offensive. Like, you said it to me nice. So, like, well, I said something off the wall to you, but I didn't cuss you out, and I used nice words with it. It's like, why you, like, what was it? Why even say this then? Like, it's when people talk about the black community, but then the way you say it is belittling. But the tone is cool.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is valid. Now, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you listen either way? When people are talking to you and conversing with you, if you don't like what they're saying, do you
Mm-hmm.
listen even when the tone is palatable, even when they have a nasty tone? Are you willing to take in information that is
Mm-hmm.
opposite of what you thought initially?
I'll say the majority, yes. But there are times when I find that a person just has a passive aggressive way of just communicating. Just if I just see you do that too many times, I tend to just, as a person, I don't want to deal with you as a person. So whatever information you have, because I feel like you be coming at people sideways, I just generally who you are, I'm not fucking with it. Excuse my French, but I'm just not.
Yeah.
Like, just
So,
it's a character thing to me. Like, that's a character flaw. Like, you're a smart person talking down to people. How
well,
does that how does that
well,
okay?
well. I think. Well, I guess what this conveys though is that tone doesn't matter, message doesn't matter if you don't like or have something against the person, which I think can be equally as cumbersome as
Mm-hmm.
ignoring tone.
Mm-hmm. I can agree. It can be it's problematic. It can be very problematic to the point where it's like sometimes you have to check yourself and just say, even though this person shows up this way, is what you're saying valid? But also, I just find like at a point of where you have to show yourself like deference and protection, is if I just see you to be harmful, I should never lower my guards down around you. And a broken clock is right twice a day. So you could be saying something that's absolutely right. You still are a problematic person.
Okay. But what do we do with the information?
Oh, you got to take the information. You got to take the information. You got to
Hmm.
take it. Oh, you have to be smart enough. If somebody's giving you a solution and the solution is valid, whether you like them or not, you take the solution.
Okay. So here's the problem, right? What you
Mm-hmm.
saying
Mm-hmm.
is that's the pushback,
Mm-hmm.
because they saying this is what I think the sentiment would be. Your tone
Mm-hmm.
don't The tone don't matter because she not listening to you anyway. He not listening to you anyway because of who the
Mm-hmm.
person that they think you are. So why do I have to be careful in how I communicate if people are willing to ignore me because they don't like me?
So to me, it gets beyond whether you think I like you or not. If
But you
you
do that,
really want,
Tiff. I guess the key is you do
good.
that, right? Like, so for instance,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Williams got on your nerve one time, and you said, "Fuck
Oh
what Mr. Williams
no.
got to say going forward."
Mm-mm. It wasn't that. It wasn't one time. And that's the thing. I think people don't understand
2 times,
that. Nah. No. You
three
do how many
times,
shows? How
10
many shows do you
times?
do? How many shows do you do here? You do a lot of shows and there's a Discord. When I listen to how you talk, I
Huh?
listen to how you talk. And
Okay.
if I find inconsistencies, then for me, the inconsistency as a woman is dangerous. So what I tend to do
That's
is
pot kettle
just
though.
distance myself. Pardon me?
But that's pot kettle, right? So
That's
here's the
fine.
thing. Now here's where what you're saying though, Tiff,
Mm-hmm.
hurts the tone conversation that I just had.
Okay.
Because you're making sure that once you silo a person, right, and you think they're inconsistent with a thing or don't align correctly, right, they
Mm-hmm.
get dismissed. So
No, I
now
just
if that can happen to a person and it
mm-hmm.
consistently happens,
Mm-hmm.
why would people police their tone if you're going to dismiss them off a few conversations or simply because you don't like them?
I'm one person. Like that, is your message more important? If the message is important and you really believe in it,
Yeah.
my one person shouldn't affect it. Like you're not going everybody ain't gonna like you, you're not gonna like everybody. But if you really feel like your message is for the benefit of other people, then you gotta be okay with certain people just not everybody ain't gonna rock with it. And if you want the message to be heard, it's gotta be like I just feel like people understand how to cater to their audience. And when you said it yesterday, it clicked when you were like, men understand that there's a certain level of what could happen if I come at this person sideways. And I don't think that same consideration is given to everybody. And if I can see that you understand that you would never do that to some people and you pick and choose, what am I
Here,
supposed to do with that?
so here's the God's honest truth, right? It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't happen to me that much really, because I don't be doing it to
Mm-hmm.
people. I think
You
that
don't.
yeah, but I think that people will be like, well, damn, why you? Well, because you're an asshole,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you literally
Mm-hmm.
have the tone, not you directly, but you
Right.
do this at
I got you.
times where you have the tone that you hate so much, that you have the tone that you despise. People
Mm-hmm.
aren't obtuse to how you talk to them, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes it's a mutual thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And if that's so, so like you said with Mr. Will, what you'll see with me is once I realize just we just ain't it ain't gonna shake, I don't engage. Like we can be cordial. I'm not gonna cause no trouble or no smoke,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't feel obligated to respect you the same way I respect my big little brother. It's not no disrespect, but I'm not giving you the same tone. I'm not. And we can say that's a character flaw, that's something I need to work on. But no, like if you're genuinely respectful and kind, and I see you treat everybody the same consistently, I can rock with that. If I see you pick and choose, one side, one day it's this side, one day it's this, I'm good. I'm cool on that.
Okay. All right. All right,
It was
Tiff. You
good
want?
talking to you, love.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you hitting the phone call in, man. Salute, salute,
Always,
salute.
brother. We streaming later tonight. We doing the politics, so
Yeah, we cooking tonight.
all right, love.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
Mom, what up? You can hear me?
My internet acting crazy. You hear me?
Yeah, internet sound crazy.
Refresh.
Refresh. All right, let him refresh. Cheek, what's good, man? What we calling? Where you at? You at Atlanta or you all over the globe? Where you at, man?
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta.
No doubt, no doubt, man. I don't know if you heard my monologue, but you heard me talking to Tiff. What you think, man? Tone matters.
I heard you the monologue. It's funny, man. Like I've said this for a long time. And you're right. I think dismissal of tone is used as an excuse to just speak harshly. I think you said this multiple times. You can't be the coach that doesn't show any love and then talk harshly
Yeah.
because like that's not how relationships work. Like no matter how logical or how much we'd like to remove relationship from humanity, we can't do it. Like you have to build a rapport. And I think that kind of goes back to what Tiff is saying. Like if you have a rapport based off of the rhetoric you spew or say, based off of the tonality of how you speak about topics, based off of your lack of ability to, speak respectfully, like what's the outcome that you're expecting from somebody, right? Like even for example, like people have watched the show plenty of times. I don't think they may have seen you be stern here and there, but they've never seen you be an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
So coming into the conversation with somebody that has the reputation of being genuine, respectful of in their tone, and a good conversationalist is you get a different person.
Yeah.
So, I just think that a lot of this, we got to speak with harsh tone because 2053 running around or is around the corner. That don't mean shit. Because if 2053 happened, like speaking disrespectfully or speaking about an issue, especially if you laughing at an issue, don't really seem like it's going to change anything around. It just comes off as condescending or as if you're poking fun at something that you're claiming to be serious.
Yeah.
And that's just something that the manosphere has done in a lot of ways.
Yo, yeah, that's actually a great point, right? What it'll be is, right, if we say in 2053 is on the verge, and I can't wait for you niggas to be a permanent underclass, right? That's not the sense of urgency that we need to galvanize people to do the right thing, right?
Exactly.
Because they gonna say, well, nigga, fuck you too then. Right? Because they know what that means without you having to say it.
Yeah.
Cheeky, let me ask you a question. Body language doesn't body language quite literally set tone damn near?
Yeah, I think human beings just kind of assess everything about language. That includes body language as well too.
I guess what I'm alleging is body language is almost all tone, right? So like I'm talking to you, right? And I'm like this.
Yeah.
While you talking.
Mm-hmm.
You talking, I'm like this. Right?
Yeah.
It's like all tone, damn near your body language.
Yeah, for sure.
Cause it let people know how I'm gonna come pause when it's my turn or while I'm listening to you. How much I care or don't care. Right? That's the read.
Yeah.
Now where do emotional people get off in this though? Right? Because that's where the rubber meets the road. Because here's what's said: if I'm triggered by tone, I'm emotional.
I think when people use emotional in a lot of ways, they try to use it as a dismissal and not necessarily an acknowledgement of an actual feeling. So like everybody's got emotions. So saying that I'm emotional just doesn't make sense because no one is excluded from emotions. So yeah, if I say something, right, and here's the thing that goes back to the passive aggressiveness, right? Somebody can say something in a tonality, get an expected reaction and one that they was targeting for, and then go, you being emotional. Yeah. Like that, there's a level of deviousness behind that, and it's intentional. And because it's intentional, it causes even more question, not only of the message, but the character of the person that's talking as well.
Yeah, 100%. On the show, I think it was Friday or Wednesday, one guy was like, "Oh, I see you emotional about the Muslims." I'm like, "Me?"
Yeah, no, I saw that. I saw the clip.
Yeah.
He called you a goofball too, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, why he get called a goofball and why he get called emotional?
Yeah, I ain't understand it. Like
I
but like you said, the emotional thing is really a cop out, right? Like it's really a cop out for the person who says it, in my opinion, right? And and again, when people get emotional, are we alleging that they stop listening, stop understanding their arguments?
Well, it's like a jab at masculinity in a sense, like because when they're saying that, they're trying to inadvertently compare you to a girl or a woman. That's why they say it, like you're being emotional, like a girl. Because that's the whole thing about masculinity or whatever the case that a lot of men carry is stoicism and not responding demonstratively to some issue. But that's so it's dumb because that's not how human beings work. And we've seen enough human beings in our lives, and we've been around enough, especially black people, right? Not to make it a race thing, but black people are very expressive. I can think about plenty of conversations when we talk about football, shit get lit.
Yeah.
Basketball, shit get lit.
Yeah.
Rap, top 5 rappers, you say the wrong name in the 5. If I say Lil Yachty, DJ Hamp is going to grab me by my chest, and I'm gonna just have to punch him as best as I can, just to tell me you ain't saying Lil Yachty. You see how that works?
Bugging.
Right.
Yeah, yo, that's the thing. Like, it's an interesting dynamic, man, and we really don't know what we're doing. We just talking, right? But then when you start putting this shit under a microscope, it makes less and less sense in terms of just these tropes. Is what I'm, tone don't matter. You being emotional.
Right.
What does that mean, right? What is that? If you go to a barbershop, well, back in the day, niggas is doing push-ups, arguing, wrestling, lifting weight, because we had all this shit. Niggas had a drum set now. All of a sudden, when everybody get drunk, everybody the best drummer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Literally, my man's, he's sitting in the corner. I say, yo, watch this. I say, yo, such and such, go tell him this. It was like, go tell him Biggie the best rapper. He gonna argue no matter what. He like, you sure? I'm like, yo, dead ass. So boom, I go over there, right? We dying laughing in the corner because now he in an argument. So I tell one of the other young boys, yo, listen, yo, go tell him that Tupac is the best rapper. He argue with 7 niggas. We dying. Like, you laugh, you crying?
Yeah.
Because he gonna argue no matter what, son.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I never thought to call this nigga emotional because he'd beat you the fuck up, too. Right? Like, it's just very odd. It's very odd. Like, because I was assessing it, and they'd be like, because I don't be getting super, like, you don't get super, right? Unless you go on one of your rants or, unless I'm talking shit, But then they'll be like somebody who's more demonstrative, they call them emotional. That's not how that works.
Yeah. And all it is really to dismiss. So the same way that you say Tiff dismisses men she don't like, and she just throw their opinions and thoughts to the side.
Mm-hmm.
It's an attempt to do the same thing, but just a quote unquote more masculine version to do that. That all they're saying is you get emotional to dismiss your message, what you're saying in the validity of what you may be pointing to, because they don't want to accept what it is that you're saying. Either they disagree or they just don't have a rebuttal. I can't give you the reason behind that, but it is a form of dismissal that they think is more masculine to do, which is to say you emotional or you're being emotional. And then niggas supposed to go, no, I'm not. And then just turn to a robot and be like, yeah, you're right. My bad. Sorry, sir. No, fuck out of here. Nah, you still wrong. Emotions or not.
It's not. Yo, and here's the thing, right? Who you think, and I'm going to get the other 2 brothers, but I want to ask you this. Who you think, in conversations, who gets manipulated more quickly? Right? Like when the women are talking to the men and vice versa, who gets out of their body more quickly when these conversations are happening? Especially when the opposite sexes are having a conversation. Exactly. I got the same thought as you, and I can see your face.
Yeah, it's one of them. I know we're not the 50-50 kind of people. I get that, but Hamp is one of those where I got to think. Like it's not a quick answer. I got to think about it.
Because this is what I'm thinking, right? And this is the full circle, the entirety of the conversation. I'm not missing nothing. I'm watching your body language. I'm seeing you be dismissive. I'm watching you shake your head. I'm seeing you turn your camera off, right? I see you trying to talk while I'm talking. I see you being passive aggressive. I see you being snarky. I see you being facetious, right? I see you being dismissive. But then I'll raise my voice and I'm the culprit. You see? Still a decision to raise my voice, but I caught you.
Yeah.
I think the women have a tendency to do the things I just named. The men have the tendency to be overt. So the overt is easy to catch. Because you can be like, oh shit, what he yelling about? Right? But whole time he talking to a panel full of people and they all rolling their eyes and shaking their head.
Yeah.
What's your
I
thought?
think it expresses itself differently for sure.
Yeah, that's basically what I was saying long windedly.
No, you good. I was following.
Hey man, I love you, man. Hey man, you got your shit together?
Yeah, I think I just gotta look for Airbnbs for June 27th.
26th. We got the podcast on the 26th.
Okay, so I'm coming Friday, so that weekend.
Yeah,
I'll be there a day early or whatever the case. So
all
yeah.
right, bet. All right, kid.
All right, yes, sir. You be safe.
Be safe. I'll see you in a minute.
All right, bet.
Ma, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yo, what's the deal?
What's up? No, I just been listening. I was listening to Tiff. I was listening to you and Cheeky too.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. I guess my overall, before I even heard everybody talking and exchanging,
Mm-hmm.
my overall was that being in on the internet, kind of talking on these panels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I started to notice that every time I would have the conversation about tone, all of the guys would be like, "Nah, that shit don't matter. It don't matter, right?" But I always thought it to be hypocritical because you wouldn't let your woman talk to you a certain way. She can't bring certain things to you a certain way. She got to come correct when she's saying certain things. But we all of a sudden saying the only thing that matters is that information,
Yeah.
not the tone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was just saying, Ma, too. Like
Somebody called me.
Yeah, go ahead. You good? You back? Can you hear me?
I'm back here.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying in my opening monologue. It's just like you don't let her do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't let your kids do that. I was just making a mention of like my son. If I was like, "Hey, go pick it up," he said, "Okay." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Right? Lost your mind. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, you know. You heard the trope, Ma, a low level threat of violence between men.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Why? Because depending on how you talk to me, it can escalate.
Absolutely.
And so I just want us to make sure that we be mindful of it. You know what I'm saying? And there's times when I think if you were to watch back podcasts like the Sunday show when we was up there, you might could look and be like, "Yo, I should have went a little harder." Right? I've done that before, you know. But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What's the yield you get from women with the tone that you use most often?
It's positive. I get it's efficient and it's positive, I normally get them to hear what I'm saying, which is my goal, you know. If like, and that's the thing too. If what I'm saying is not heard, why am I talking? Why are we talking? I think a lot of men aren't like in the headspace to where, yo, we gotta be efficient with our words. We gotta be efficient with our actions. Like, are you doing this for nothing? So if I talk to you and you don't understand what I'm saying, or you didn't hear what I'm saying, it might have ended in an argument or just a disagreement, then I just wasted all my time, And I'm not into that, right? So my goal is to get you to hear what I'm saying. And if I say something to you and it feels like you didn't understand it, then maybe I gotta reposition how I'm saying it. And I'll do that all the time. If you like, nah, I ain't get that. I'm like, all right, well, let me search for another way to communicate this to you, you know?
Yeah.
So
Now that's the part that that is most difficult for people, right? Because generally speaking, a thing will be communicated clearly. And then when people act like they don't get it, it's almost like, do they not want to get it? In which case, did the tone matter at all? So how many people do you think dismiss people just because they don't like them? Not so much about what is being said and how it's being said.
I think a lot of people do that. But then there's like, even with that, there are other tactics you can deploy when you sense that, right? So I know for me, I look at all of this stuff like almost like engineering a little bit. So it's like, okay, how can I disarm this individual? If I notice, or sometimes I'll disarm you before the even conversation start, right? So sometimes you can get on a panel or just have a conversation with somebody, and you can say, you know what? I want to ask you this because I feel like you're an honest person, right? Now you might not even know that person. You may not have even know if they're honest or not. However, when I say that to you, you feel some sort of you feel like you want to be an honest person now, so you want to listen with open ears. Or I might start a conversation and be like, you know what, I want to say something to you, but do you think that you can listen objectively and not, necessarily take it personal? Like sometimes we can disarm people and kind of because we're not aware of a lot of these things that we do. But if you can make somebody aware that like, yo, you're not going to listen to me if I talk anyway, they might be like, oh no, 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 go ahead, say it. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna make sure I listen. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, bro. I think it honestly does. Now, I may not do a thing like what you're saying is like literally obvious, right? You're saying, hey, I want to make sure we're on the same page. Like I think that is effective. I think people be playing games a little bit, but I could see why you would want to do that because you want to be effective in your communication, right? And I think what I'm gathering is you want to be effective. There's not some high horse because you don't respect the fact that tone matters or not, right? You want to be an effective communicator. What's the best way to communicate effectively is what I'm thinking about.
Mm-hmm. In a generic sense, or in a sense that's tailored to that individual.
So I want to be an effective communicator generally, and I want to make sure when I'm having a one-to-one, right, my thoughts are conveyed well and absorbed.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
And here's the thing. I don't overreact. You don't overreact. But how many people have that predisposition?
A lot.
I'm thinking most people get upset, right? They overreact. They respond in kind. Maybe that's the thing. You don't really respond in kind. Somebody will be cussing you and you'll kind of just stay even, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just always seen that. I see that as powerful.
Yeah. Now my question for you is I know how I developed this, but how did you develop that? Were you always that way? Because for me, I just found it to be inefficient. I felt like when I study everything. I study the world, I study every interaction I have with people, I study everything people do. And I just noticed like, oh, this isn't efficient. This isn't the outcome that I want. This is not how I have control over the room or over this situation when I respond this way or I act this way. So I literally just changed it because, like I said, when I talk, I want to be efficient. When I do things, I want to be efficient. I'm doing everything for a desired outcome.
Yeah.
So I just don't respond that way because it didn't make sense. But for you, is that just naturally who you are? Is who you always been, or did you find that like, oh, this is not making sense, so I'm gonna switch it up?
Yeah, I got in trouble a decent amount for letting it fly, but not so much talking from like the action of people talking crazy, and it just was a temperament thing, right? And so I think how you do anything is how you do everything. And I think that I've been in leadership roles a lot to where you have so many people that you have to get a message to, right? And people were reacting to things outside of the information because of how I was delivering it, right? So I have the capability of saying, fuck it, I don't care how you feel about this. But people often, and most often, are moving off their emotions whether they admit it or not. So how do I be the most effective in my communication? Also, I think a lot of times we forget that we the A side. So when people come to antagonize me, if I respond in kind, who wins? It ain't me.
Exactly.
So me going off, like say use the internet. Me going off is a clip that is not often. So they would win in that moment. Why would I give that to them?
It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Damn. That's good, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for Empress said thank you for actually listening to the conversation before you hit the link this time. She appreciated it.
Oh, I'm trying to make strides, so
no doubt, man. All right, good brother. Hey man, I'm gonna hit you up, man. I gotta ask you something too.
Absolutely.
All right, be safe. You already. Prax, what's popping?
What's good, guy?
What's good, my G?
How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I missed you yesterday, man.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. When I got off the live with you with y'all in the afternoon I was on, my first thought was, okay, the next show I'm gonna let them breathe, you know. Um, so, but
Yeah.
the universe put me in a situation where I had to, you know, I had to deal with my phone and all.
Okay.
Somebody tried to get me, but when they saw what I had, they ran, but my phone was broke.
Yeah.
So I had to go take care of that. And then when I saw it when you posted it. Well, when it ended, it said 6 hours. I watched it at 6 hour,
Word.
and I was like, "Damn, that's the one I wanted to be on," because y'all was talking real reckless.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was you guys were talking crazy, man, out of ignorance and all that, man. I was like, "Yo, that's the one I wanted to be on."
Oh man, that's what's up, man. What you think about this though? You think about tone and all that?
The intonation of somebody being verbose on somebody. I'm gonna tell you something, man. It's about what, when, where, and why.
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying? When are you saying it?
Mm-hmm.
What I said? What, when,
Where
where,
and
and why?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where and why? Where are you saying it? And what was the last one?
What, when, where, and why?
Yeah, why you saying it? When you saying it? Where you saying it? And what you saying? Did I say that twice?
Yes.
My brain is going nuts, man, because I'm on this fast, yo. And I'm tired. But anyway, yeah, it's about that. It's about time and place and time, place, and manner. You know, I think people get into their verbiage, um, um, especially if you're frustrated.
Uh-huh.
You have a different outlook on receiving things and expressing things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just different emotion. And then a lot of times people don't want to acquiesce to what you're saying
Yeah.
because everybody wants to be right. Everybody is kings here. Let me say this: back in early times, only the higher ups in society got a funeral, right? And you had to be worthy of the funeral. You had to be a good person. You know, if you was a good person, they bury you with a ceremony and praise and all that. But if you was a bad person, they just throw you out in the woods and let the dogs eat you. You know? So, but now everybody's a king, good or bad. You know, you get shot because you did something malevolent to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get the honors ceremony. You get the cream colored pearl rose casket, and they put you in the ground. Everybody crying and stuff. Everybody's a king now, right? So you can't tell me anything because I know what I know, and I'm that. And people don't want to be corrected. They
Yeah.
think they know everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times when you talk about people being emotional, I think that that's a true statement. If you
Okay.
govern by your emotions, because your emotions, you got joy, fear, sadness, and all that, and then you express those things, and you become fervent, have fervor behind your intonation. Then what's wrong with that? I don't care if you yell at me, as long as you tell me. Let me ask you something. Have you been to church?
Yes.
You've seen people in the church, right? Men, women in the church, and melanated people churches, black people churches. The preacher is screaming at you. Is he not?
Yeah, they yell a lot.
They yell a lot. Do anybody castigate them for their message?
No.
How they? Yeah. At the end of the service, they shaking his hand. That was good. That was good. But when you get home with your wife or your significant other, and what I need, who you think you talking to? Why is that?
Because the tone matters.
Tone matters, but it didn't matter when that preacher was talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Time, place, the church, what he was saying, who he was. He's supposed to be the head of the flock. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's a king, so nobody wants to be corrected.
Damn, man. Hey, Prax, man. I wish you would have hit the damn link a little bit earlier. I got a few brothers in the back. I got to get out of here soon. And I left my damn
Okay, go ahead and
screwdriver.
handle that. Go
Hey,
ahead and
man.
handle that, man.
I appreciate you, man. I'm going live tonight and all that. So it should be a goodie.
Absolutely. I caught the one last night.
Yeah, word is born. So
They was looking yummy up there.
I'm going to let them know you said that.
That's what's up, man.
All right, good brother. I see you in a minute.
All right. All right, absolutely.
Are you all ready? Johnny, what's the word? Johnny,
Can
you
you hear
there?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. How you doing?
Why is your name Johnny?
I don't know. It did the thing asked me hi, what's your name, and I just felt like Johnny was the name to say, you know?
All right.
So I got a question.
Go
You
ahead.
know how we always say how you do everything is how you do
Anything?
like how you yeah. So this is what I've been working out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you treat your enemies how you treat the people you love?
Yes.
How you treat your enemies is how you treat the people you love. Okay, explain it to me.
You breaking up. What'd you say?
Oh, that's me breaking up. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, you said if we do how you do anything is how you do everything. Do you treat your enemies the
Can you hear me?
same way as the people you love? Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, come on, Johnny. All right, hold on, let me see. All right, what'd you say?
It's still cracking?
Nah, you well, kinda, but you said explain how you treat your enemies, how you treat the people you love. I think that was her question. Uh, my enemies, I'm gonna do it to. The people I love, I'll do it for. So it's the same.
Okay, so it's like okay, so I think that's just kind of like where we fall apart with the tone. I think the major issue with tone is that people just come to the conversations and in general, they don't have it's a lack of respect. And
Mm-hmm.
that people don't know how to necessarily move around it, right? Because let's say like I go hard, Mr. Fantastic go hard, but we never go hard on each other. Even when we disagree, it's more of an understanding because there's a level of respect there. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So even if you had a respect for the person, it wouldn't go where it goes. So every time when I see that it has to elevate, surpass certain things, it's literally just a lack of respect. And I'm not saying that sometimes we might not get passionate and overtalk each other, but when it goes to crossing the line, it's because the level of respect in the first place was never there.
Yeah, I think Gorilla, your audio is bad, but I think I appreciate the offering. Right, it's simply right. The respect is the precursor to what tone we take, how we talk to one another. You know, right? There's certain tones that you don't take with me or vice versa because of the respect, right? So those tones never enter the conversation unless we talking shit, you know? I think the respect level or lack thereof dictates the tone and pace of that conversation for sure. So yeah, I think that's a
Yeah,
hell of a
definitely. That's
point.
what I wanted to say, but I don't want to mess up the stream because I'm breaking up. But that's what I wanted to say.
All right, love you, man. Invest in some damn technology, please.
Love you too.
All right. Mr.
This
Whip.
Ecam.
Yeah, this the Ecam. It messed up my thing. Yo, Mr. Williams, what's popping?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing today, man?
I'm doing the right thing, man. How about yourself?
I'm all right, man. I had to go to the doctor and all of that and rip and run for Derby and everything, but I just wanted to tell you how proud I am on you, man. Like you've been doing the damn thing. I always give you props, but I just want to say how proud I am, man, that you just keep rolling, you keeping us steady and making sure that we have these great conversations, man. So I just wanted to say I'm proud of you, man.
Well, I appreciate that, man. For sure, for sure. You know what I mean? When the going get tough, the tough get going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Salute. Did you want to say anything on this, or you just stopping by?
Nah, I heard majority of it, and then I caught back in with Cheeky and then Mont and it came on. I know I missed a little bit, probably about 5 minutes of it, but no, I mean you correct on your premise about the tone. I know us as men, how we grew up, especially if we had our grandparents and our fathers and everything. You know, tone really didn't matter to us. It was pretty much what they said. You know, it was, because regardless of anything, we had to be respectful to them anyway. Our coaches and everything, we could take getting hollered at and cussed at and all of that. And it was just a natural thing. I think it's more about the words that come out of your mouth when it comes to us as men, majority of men.
Yeah, I just think I see niggas shooting each other over cold French fries and dice games, and how you talk to a nigga. You can't step on my shoe. If you ask me if I'm good, we're gonna have a problem because of how you said it. So I think that it's a little bit of a misnomer in regards to that. I think what Prax offered Mr. Williams is uberly important to the conversation, right?
Yeah.
My coach can't talk to me crazy. I'm not at practice, right? If I'm like out and about and he see me at the store, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of practice, right, we have a hierarchy there, and football needs to be delivered in a particular way if you want people to be most successful, because there's a time where you're going to have to give up your body and damn near kill yourself to make a play, right? And it has to be harsh, because it's a game and you have to play in a certain way, But outside of practice, you ask the boys, right? We go to Buffalo Wild Wings. We talking shit. They talking shit to me. There's a clip I put up. He like, yeah, I got Coach Hamp phone because Coach Hamp's sweet, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to my young boy Chris. That's at practice, right? Oh, that's after practice, you see. But in the middle of the drills, ain't nobody playing with me.
Nah.
You know what I mean? So the setting matters a lot, and I'm glad Prax had introduced that. You feel me? I just want to make sure we understand that we get triggered by a lot of things, including how things are said to us. We don't appreciate passive aggression. We hate that shit, borderline. We hate when people being facetious. See, you ain't a facetious person. So somebody being facetious, it's who you talking to? Why don't try to play me?
That sets me that sets me off.
Yeah, but generally, I think just to give credence to your point is that we've been able to hear through tone, right? I just wonder, could we have heard it better depending on how it was delivered based on the tone?
Yeah, I wonder that too, man. I really do.
So yeah, man, I think I appreciate that callous that we have, but I wonder, does that make us more or less effective, or is it just a push?
Yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword, man. It really is. Depending on your audience,
Yeah, 100%. To be callous, to be able to take callous, I guess there's value to that for sure. Oh, excuse me, let me correct it. I know there's value to it, but it's just interesting, man. It's just interesting how much I've seen tone affect the conversation, relationship, and even violence.
Yeah.
So. All right, Mr. Williams, I love you, man. Appreciate you.
Love you too, man.
I'll see you in a minute. Rockstar, what's popping?
What's good? A ham mic check. Can you hear me, my brother?
Yes, sir.
Yes, man. How you doing, man? Congratulations as well, man. I'm on everything. So
No doubt. What you think?
Oh man, I heard a lot of good responses, man. My response to it, I mean, y'all gave some good examples, but I guess what I'd like to add to it is, for one, two things can be true at the same time. And the reason why I say that is because yeah, tone does matter, but also I think it can become complex because it's such a two-way street. It's kind of like the yin and the yang, one without the it both things exist in that in this realm of when it comes to tone and how you respond. So the reason why I would say more that tone doesn't matter, I mean it matters, but to me, how you respond to it matters, right? Like for example, there are some people who they'll be quicker to go off on somebody they don't know because of their tone as opposed to someone they do know because of their tone. But then there could be another person, the next person, they'll be quicker to go off on somebody they do know because of their tone and be less subjected to going off somebody they don't know, right? So it that's what makes it complex because of human nature and everybody was raised different. So for me, tone matters, but how you respond to it matters more than anything. Like, for example, let's say you in public and there's some guy, he talking mad shit, right? You know, now there's usually, and I'm saying in general, not everyone, but in general, a man would be more susceptible to going off or handling his business with him, right? And, but if that one guy has 10 niggas with him, you see what I'm saying? If that one guy has 10 niggas with him, then he's probably less subjected to go off and handle his business with him. So that's why that's just an example I'm using as to say tone matters, but how you respond to it matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I think you said the guy is going off on him, so I think it's the disrespect is inevitable, you know. I'm just looking
Exactly.
at how we as we converse, right? We
Mhm.
saying things don't matter, but we haven't actually seen that in the earth. As an example, right? I was a regional director for a very large transportation company, and one of the overarching complaints was literally me delivering the information harshly and directly. And I was the most expert, so they had to call me, right? But people didn't always want to because I didn't really have a lot of time for, hey, how you doing? I'm like, what do you want? What do you need, right? Um, and I'm thinking in hindsight, would I have been more effective communicating in a way in which was more palatable?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you know, it kind of goes back into, you know, more how you respond to tone because we live in a world where somebody's gonna complain about something.
Yeah. I,
You
I
know what I
just
mean? So that
well, I guess I'm just thinking about I'm controlling the controllables, you know?
true. And that's true. And again that goes to how people respond to tone, right? You know, like for example, I watched the other day when you were on a podcast and it was a guy, I think he had called you said a cornball or whatever. And it was amazing to see because, I know of you enough to know your stealth size. I know you're not a box like me and things like that. And even though I'm not saying that would have been how you handled it in public, but when I saw how you handled it and you gave the guy grace, wasn't quick to disrespect and go off, at least in my mind, I seen a guy that he would be mature enough to handle it that way in public, being that, hey, people can talk shit, but because I always had this thing is, I've been the victim of disrespect many times in my life, but I always had this thing where, you know, you ain't gonna put your hands on me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was saying I do agree tone matters, but I also say how you respond matters most. So because I watched how you handle it, and I was like, wow, I hadn't seen you in that situation where you dealt with disrespect on the podcast. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But the way you handle it was, I saw that was some very mature to me. That to me, I saw the way you handle it made you look like more of a man. To me, that was more gangster than somebody said maybe going off or, maybe even if it was in public, maybe even fighting them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%. I accept what you're saying, right? In just terms of how you respond to these things, right? People are often trying to trigger. I'm just saying, us as orators and leaders, I think we have to be cognizant of things, even when most people probably don't have to. Do you think women care about tone more than men? If you had to answer,
Uh Man, the fact that I had to think about it says a lot. You're right. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
I think they do in general. That's if you know what I mean. In a general sense, if both the man and that woman is raised right, I do think so. You know, being that we're more disciplined as kids than women in most cases. We get most whoopings. We can't get away like my daughter. My daughter was able to get away more with a smart mouth than my son, and it was simply just because of the gender. You know what I mean?
Okay. So do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. So do you think that women are more emotional than men?
Yes, I think. Yes, I think so. I think we live in a world now where this feminist movement and all this. It's just now men are so attacked now psychologically to where they just mistake passion for emotion. I know the difference between passion and emotion, man. It's a difference. And
I
being
mean,
emotional, I mean.
yeah, 100%. I think that is used, haphazardly. Like we want to insult somebody, we'll say it's emotion. We want to, big up somebody, we say it's passion. I think that
Yeah.
it's used so loosely. You know, but yeah, I think
Exactly.
how you respond to people's tone is certainly the biggest, what you control for sure. I'm just thinking, me again as an orator and a leader, I'm cognizant of all things that can make me better.
Facts.
And that includes how I come across.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I say tone does matter. I'd be a fool to say it doesn't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even as a grown man, certain things that someone may say or whatever, it could, I tell people, like, for example, like with crying, right? Like you got some people who be like, oh, men shouldn't cry this loud. I'm like, look, man, I don't knock nobody for crying. You either crying externally or internally. God gave us tear duct just like anybody else, right? You know what I mean? I had a cousin, he would cry before he knock a nigga out. Like,
Yeah, that
so you know what I
angry
mean?
cry. Yeah, I used to angry
Yeah,
cry too. I
man.
there's another thing I'd be saying. I don't cry from physical pain, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
emotional hurt is far worse than breaking a finger.
facts.
So damn right.
Facts.
I got
Yeah.
2 more guests here I gotta get to, but I
Okay then.
appreciate you, brother. I appreciate that, and I think people should have that takeaway: is that how you react to things that are being said and how they said really defines you more than what's being said to you. So
Facts. That's
I
exactly right, man.
I appreciate that offering. Hey man,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna hit you up too. I had to ask you something.
Okay, yeah, bet, man. I've been out here 3 months, man. Get with me.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna hit you. Be safe.
Okay. All right, you too.
No doubt. Josh, what's the word?
No, what's up? I got a couple of disagreements.
Sure.
I think the term tone is a little bit too vague. And I say this, right? Like when you talk about body language, there's one factor, your tone of voice, whether you're going to strike it, strike a certain type of pitch or something like that. I think it's too vague by today's standards and how we communicate with each other. And I say this because we all don't have the same intentions. Some of us start a conversation. We either want to promote our own agenda within the topic. Some of us want to participate and just after attention. Some of us just literally completely confused and do not know how to communicate with another person. I've always been given grace specifically because I'm an outsider, right? But I've noticed that same grace with inside members, right? Like they don't talk to each other the same way. I've been given grace. They should be giving each other the same amount of grace. And I think we lean, what's that Bible verse? I think it's in Proverbs somewhere about leaning on your own understanding. I fundamentally disagree that I think people honestly understand what the other person's saying. Some of the stuff we all talk about gets kind of complicated. There's too many facets of it, and we literally think we know everything. I could live 50 years of my life, get my butt beat over every little thing, right? Run into somebody new, has a different perspective, and all of a sudden I'm an expert because my own experience taught me one way where somebody else is saying something completely different, and I don't even have the patience to try to listen to the other person.
Yeah. That what you're saying slightly goes back to what Tiff and I were talking about. You know, like you said, people come in the conversation with a preset position. They come in talking what they want to talk about, so they're quickly dismissive, ignoring different points, don't have the patience for it, or they just don't like a person, right? And so grace is given and or taken away. And then they'll blame that person's mean or tone or emotional to try to dismiss what's being said. And so now the tone shit is out the window, right? Because it ain't about the tone. It's about your predisposition to that person and your preset position before you hit the link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sat here and I thought about some of the prescriptions you could give. Like you're pretty much adamant about that whole we all been raised by wolves, right? You force us to say hi to everybody, and I'm horrible about breaking this. It could be the case that you might have to go back to the 1950s and start saying, you know what, you can't address somebody unless you can say sir and ma'am. I mean, you might have to actually go hardcore on people. I don't know how you would enforce such a thing. I sure as hell know. I got another question here. I'm actually kind of confused. How is it that we would possibly, the rules ain't the same for the guys and the girls?
Mm-hmm.
We don't even actually know how to talk to the women because they talk a different kind of way. So we don't even know how to have a conversation with the women, let alone man versus man, and it's a different culture, different political concept, right? How do we come up with some type of set of rules that you actually want to enforce? I got no clue here.
So, one, I think the man and sir thing is easier to implement if I do it first. Right? So I think just one, right? People start to kind of replicate behavior that's becoming. So I think that's one way that I could instill it. And I do it subconsciously more when the conversations are serious and when I know less. So like when they were talking about the manosphere yesterday and the MAGA, I know a little bit less. So I'm usually like more attentive, you know? But I think that we do actually understand benevolence and deference have similar results, right? Women show benevolence, right? Or excuse me, women show deference and men show benevolence, right? You know, to each other.
Right.
You see? And those things are different, but they have a similar result depending on the sex receiving each one. Also, chivalry started between men.
Yes, but that's also because we enforced it through violence, right?
Through violence, right? 100%.
We can't do that with the women, right? So how? Like I don't know.
But remember, but see, that's the thing, right? And this one thing I don't know if people understand. Do you remember in Troy, Josh, when they were sitting there and fighting, and they like let the two people fight?
Yeah,
that's not actually a reach. Do you remember after Achilles' cousin got killed? You remember that scene? And they were like, "Hey, let's wrap it up for today." Like that is not a reach, you know. So even though violence was the thing and the goal, these people still have respect for one another. You know what I mean? It wasn't just a you know, like
right.
I don't know how they like barbaric or a brawl.
You incorporated that though. Like in Discord, I got my ass dragged several times over. Well deserved as it should be, right? The question then comes down to if you're trying to promote that within a community or a broader sense, like on YouTube, how do you pull that off and conduct the show at the same time? You've kind of like cornered yourself into a position. You're doing a whole lot of things in one little tiny show.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it's impossible. I think it's highly improbable to achieve everything at once, you know?
Right.
But if I have a goal for that particular show, like the Sir Ma'am thing, I would have to be keen on that, you know? One thing I'm pretty keen on most of the time is the decorum thing. And like, let's say I hear a back and forth, I'll let them get it off. Like yesterday, there was a back and forth, and then I'll say, okay, got it off. Now I'm asking that you refrain from that behavior, and both of those gentlemen did. You see, so it's a lot there to grasp onto. But I like your initial point. Tone don't matter because the thing we have to parse out, Josh, is how many people are coming in with a presupposition anyway.
We 100% all are, even myself, right? And I've gotten called out of this. Like sometimes I'll just throw gasoline on a fire just because I'm bad day or bored or whatever, right? We all do it, and we don't do it the same every day. Some days for like a month and a half, I really want to have the conversation. But generally speaking, we all do come to the table with our own internal agenda.
Yeah, I think that's extremely problematic in terms of we're trying to get understanding, and then that type of person who's saying hell or high water, they'll try to use tone as a cop out when they really just wanted to talk about what they want to talk about. So yeah, no, that's definitely interesting. That's definitely interesting.
Now, how do you deal with the prescription in that concept? You've got a crap load. You've got an entire army behind you. How do you teach? You know what? How do you identify it, and how do you teach to go around deal with it?
It's very difficult to prove intent, right?
Yep.
And so
I claim
that's
impossible.
Yeah, that's the crutch. That's the crux of the matter. And here's another thing: we judge everybody else off their intentions, right? We judge ourselves. Excuse me. We judge ourselves off our intentions. We judge everybody else off their actions. You know. So what that is, what I have to happen is my discernment is what it is. I'm not going to deliberate too much, right? And I can usually discern things pretty well. If I think people are ill-intended, have an agenda, right? Want to be willfully obtuse or overly rude, right? Then I'll have to be the one to call it out, you know? So, but yeah, ain't no perfect answer. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, throw me off panel. I think you got somebody behind me. Well, before I go, shout out. I just want to say what nobody on panel MAGA yesterday. Not a single one of y'all is MAGA. It's not even possible.
Yeah.
It's absolute nothing but a derogatory term you can throw at somebody to insult them. That's all it's for.
Josh, make sure you hit the link on Friday because I'm going to revisit all that stuff.
Ooh, okay. I'll be here.
All right. Later. Frozen, you there?
Yes, sir.
What's the word?
What's going on, Hamp?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. The conversation. Oh, I should have asked, bro. How you feeling?
I'm doing well, brother. I cannot complain.
Doing well.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to hear that, man.
Indeed.
The conversation, man. I don't know if this aspect was covered, but I know you spoke about the barbershop. Well, I just wanted to know, like, do you think a lot of it is audience? You think that comes into play? But also just, I guess, the nature of the internet. You know, if it's a bunch of people watching, like, do people feel like they have to kind of put on an extra performance? You know, specifically to entertain? Because I know for myself, if I'm speaking to a man one to one, like, it usually don't go crazy, but on the flip side, I've noticed that with a lot of men, right? And maybe it's just not a man thing, but like with a lot of people, if there's an audience around, like they feel like they have to turn up. Even if there's no disrespect, they feel like they kind of have to take things the other way in order for people to kind of see them as, I guess, more of a man. I don't know how to explain it, you know, exactly how I need to, but
No, you
I
explain
don't
it.
know, man. I think the audience, I'm sorry, Hamp.
No, I'm saying I think you're explaining it well, and we've seen this, and it's much larger than just the internet, right? To your point, two brothers a chest bump all day until a crowd get there. Right now, somebody finally got to throw a punch. Don't let the crowd be full of women or they woman. Now somebody definitely have to prove a point. Oftentimes, people really want to fight once they get broken up. You ever see that? Nah, let me at him. Hold the horses. Remember, he was chilling. Right, y'all was just damn near kissing. You know what I'm saying? So I think 100% that matters. You know, there's a thing I do think about at times. Like, let's say we have a large audience, and you know, people start hitting the link, or you know, people I don't see often or at all. You know, and then it's like, okay, this person coming just because it's 700 people and they trying to just get their shit off because, they may or may not have access to this many people at one time. I will say, like yesterday, because it's just fresh in my mind, every single one of those brothers, from my estimation, they would have been talking the same way if it was 100 people, 300 people, 500 people, 700 people,
Right.
But, and also, Cheeky, Mr. Fantastic, Taz, because those three on top of my head are professionals. They do this shit, you see? So they know how to also converse on a panel, how to be exciting, charismatic, you know what I mean? So we ain't gonna ignore that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I understand that aspect too. It's just in person, I've noticed that, just on one-on-one conversation, it usually doesn't pass a certain level. It's usually just way more respectful. It's just, I don't know, man. The audiences come around. I think we get influenced. I think it's an external influence that we gotta
can't
like
be
really
influenced
mind
by.
out.
Yeah,
We
no.
can't be influenced by that, man.
Yeah, it's definitely an external catalyst, right? There's inspiration for a lot, right? And we tend to forget our tone. We tend to forget our manners, and we get more disrespectful because people have put a battery in our back.
Yeah.
Audience in person, audience virtually, right? Followers, subscribers, etc. All of that definitely has an influence on, how I'm communicating with people and the lengths I'm willing to go to respect or disrespect people and how much I do or don't care about my tone. Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
100%.
I mean,
100%.
but there's been times when like dudes would change their whole personality, when a bunch of women come around. All of a sudden, like, you the funniest dude. It's like, bro, before you weren't before you weren't even talking like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they'll switch up because a whole bunch of women came in. It's like, okay, now I gotta be this dude. It's like, now,
yeah, 100%.
I don't think you have to change up, but I'm sorry, Hamp.
No, go ahead. I wasn't saying shit.
Well, I don't think you have to change up, but I also understand like the male bravado too. I do understand it, but it kind of, I think all of that, like, ends up, or it can end up ruining personal relationships.
Yeah.
If you like doing it too much and stuff, you ain't being. I'm sorry, Hamp. Go ahead.
Say that again.
Well, the male bravado.
Yeah, what were you saying? Say it again.
I think it can. I think too much of it can ruin personal relationships between just you and I or whatever, or me and another person. It feel like we have to do this just because other people are around. But personally and stuff, we don't have a problem with each other. It's just that we get too influenced by the external, man. And I guess I'm retreading old territories by saying that, but yeah.
No, I think the key is, right. I think ego and bravado are necessary, right?
Yes,
but we have to control them, though, right?
Yes, sir.
And they should be predicated on my prescriptions specifically, and then also accepted prescriptions amongst men that are rooted in respect.
Yes.
I think anything unkept, it doesn't manifest in the way in which it should. Right? Things need to have parameters to be valuable. Right? Gluttonous anything. Gluttonous ego. Right? Even though that sounds kind of odd, but you know what I'm saying? Just too much of this of these things, right, can ruin shit, especially when it comes to our relationships. You don't get a Brutus, from Julius Caesar. Your right hand man don't stab you in the back, right? Unless it's this pride, ego, jealousy, right? Because that's what starts to be bred, that contempt for disdain for one another. So hell yeah, no, I agree. That's a great offering, man. Damn. Anything else?
Hey,
you
I
wanted
appreciate
to say?
the show, man.
Yes,
No, sir. That's it. I was just saying, I appreciate the show, brother. It's it's different, but I think it's interesting, man. I'm like, I appreciate it. I'm not gonna go too far with it.
Nah, man. Hey, man, salute, man. I was trying to. I need to ask you something too, because I was trying to get one of the clubs back rolling, but I know you be in and out. I know you've been grinding, man. But it's
Yes, sir.
awesome for you to come up, man, so we can converse about this. But I think that's a hell of an offering for today, for sure.
I appreciate that, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how often I could do it. The club you're talking about, because I am I
Yeah,
am
you
doing
been.
some writing now, like a little bit more writing.
Yeah,
So
we'll talk
I will
about it
talk
though.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. I see you in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Easy.
Take it easy, brother.
Free zone. What's the word, Playboy?
What up, Hamp? What's good? What's good, everybody?
Man, you doing
What's
all right?
going on, man?
Not much, man. You tell me, man.
Nah, man, everything good, bro. Everything good.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we
Tone.
got the rain, so everything is, everything is everything, man. The
Indeed.
tone.
Mm-hmm.
So tone matters. Um, it absolutely matters, and I don't want to retread old ground because everybody said the same thing, but I will say tone isn't as high on the priority board as people want it to be in conversations. A lot of people will discount truth because of tone, and I think truth matters more than tone.
Okay.
Um, a lot of times, but here's the funny part: the people who are most insistent on tone be the ones violating the most with the tone. Man, we got to keep it real. We got to keep it real. As soon as they get a little inkling of something don't smell right, they jump out the window violating with the tone. But they want to tone everybody. They want to police everybody else's tone. So that I discount the tone conversation a lot because most of the time it comes from a disingenuous place. A lot of it
Okay.
is like, I don't like what you're saying. Even though there's a place for it, it's just especially like in these conversations, um, people like to weaponize that tone thing, and so
Yeah.
it doesn't become accountability. It becomes, oh, now we're talking about your tone. Even if everything that you were saying was right, we got to talk about your tone now. The other thing is
Mm-hmm.
we can't also leave out the amount of people who have been deceived because all a person had was a good tone.
Tone.
They had some bullshit, but the tone was good, so you were more receptive, and now you believed it, and now you fell for the okie doke.
Yeah.
So there does have to be a level of discernment. I do believe that tone matters. It's just not at the top. Like if somebody's saying something that's true, I'll listen to it and separate the wheat from the tares.
Yeah.
I think there's also because there's a responsibility to the speaker, but there's also a responsibility to the receiver as well to have humility to receive as
Yeah.
well. And so I think a lot of that is missing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people, the reason why a lot of people are saying a thing and it's not being received
Uh-huh.
is because nobody asked you. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of unsolicited advice that a lot of people want to give. And that's why, based on what you're saying, like when you say who's more emotional in these conversations, I gotta say it's the men, because the men want to tell the women something that nobody asked them. And then when it's not received, they crash the fuck out, bro. Let's keep it real, bro. And what's crazy is that the men are the ones that are saying that men are more emotional, or men are more logical, women are more emotional. I
Mm-hmm.
think that should be dispelled, like thrown away with in these conversations, because if you're going to say that and then try to communicate something to somebody and they get mad when they don't receive it and you get emotional, what are we talking about? So it's kind of like a walk it like you talk it. You know what I mean? Like you got to read the room. You got to track what you're actually saying. And you can speak with passion. You can speak. I think we're discerning enough to know the difference between somebody coming up here speaking with passion, and then when they take that passion to an emotional place to where they're no longer thinking logically. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think tone matters, but I think that there are a lot of things that matter before tone. One of them is truth. One of them is intent. because you can have bad intentions with a good tone. You see what I mean? So like there's a lot of things that have to be assessed even before tone. And I mean I grew up military, so tone wasn't even a I don't like the way you talking to me. Like that doesn't register to me as much in the scope of these conversations. But when you're reading the room, like of course, like when I go home and I'm with the wife, yeah, tone matters definitely in that sense.
Yeah.
Um, but it just depends, man, because the problem with these conversations is that people are running out the window to tell somebody something. There's nobody coming to approach you with it, asking you for your opinion or for it'd be like the difference between you going out there just frivolously giving boxing advice and somebody coming to you and saying, hey, I got a issue with this move and I'm fighting this person, can you give me some advice? The I think that the tone in those conversations is gonna be a little bit different because somebody's coming to you versus you going out to somebody.
Yeah.
So tone matters differently in those dynamics. And so that's the biggest thing about the tone mattering in these discussions because the dynamic of it is different. You got people that are jumping out the window to try to tell somebody something that initially doesn't even really give a fuck about what you're saying, and you haven't given them a reason to. You just think that because what you're saying
Is
needs to be said, that you should be the one to say it, and then when it's not when it's not well received because nobody asked you, then all of a sudden that's when you start crashing out and doing the wild stuff. So there does have to be a little bit of reading the room. And that's why I tend to be I tend to be quiet in a lot of conversations because it's like a lot of people are jumping out the window to offer something to somebody that they didn't even ask them for. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even ask you for this. But that goes back to the whole everybody wanting to be kings and wanting to be the saviors of everybody. It's like, yo, some people aren't asking to be saved. And so I think that should be respected too.
Okay. I get that. So now here's the interesting dynamic about the last part specifically. Is it about
Okay.
that them ignoring what that person has to say or not giving it credence because nobody asked them or they don't like
Mm-hmm.
them? Because if the information is valuable, who's doing is that person who's dismissing that information doing themselves a disservice? Because there's a conversation being had continuously. People are joining it, right? And then people are giving
Correct.
their opinions. Now it's information that they could apply, but they
Mm-hmm.
dismiss that person for whatever reason they deem viable. Who's the one that's operating at a deficit in terms
The
of being
person rece-
unintelligible? Go ahead.
the person receiving the information, because if it's information that you need and you fail to implement it because
The
of the way
method.
somebody said it,
Yeah.
then your life is still your life and you go about your life without ever getting that solution.
Mm-hmm.
Like I already have the solution. So if I'm coming to you and you have a problem, right? And I have a solution, how do you get to dictate? I call it the backward help economy. It's like you think because you need all this help that you're able to dictate the one with the solution how that person should give it to you. In a that's true to a point, and but the majority of it, you gave an example earlier, right? When you said what'd you say? Bitch, take this cure for cancer. They can That person could not like your tone and they'll walk off and die with cancer just because they didn't like the way you said it. So that's the other side of it.
Yeah, 100%. I think yeah. And so when I'm processing a lot of shit, I'm like, do I gotta say bitch in the first place?
Correct. Correct.
I guess that's what I was assessing initially when I was saying about the tone shit, right? And I've seen too
Mm-hmm.
many times, hence this might get Rocky 4, where a motherfucker took a particular tone and now you gotta put pause on niggas. Right?
Correct. Correct.
Oftentimes the here's one dynamic that's interesting. And we hear it all the time. Older versus younger.
Uh-oh.
They say
Yeah.
we older niggas is condescending as hell and etc. Right? Condescending is tone. That's what that is. You know,
Right.
so we acknowledge it quite often. You know, I'm just
Hmm.
saying, if I'm the one with the most responsibility and influence, am I a better orator if I take all things into consideration?
Yes, because you want to have a high success rate with what you're saying. As a matter of fact, to you don't want to throw your pearls among swine, but you also don't want to, I want to say, artificially create swine, because you may have a pearl but it's wrapped up in shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, how bad do you want this? How bad do you want them to take this medicine? You could just throw the medicine at them and say take it, or you can, you know, introduce it the way into a way that they'll respond.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do think that human nature and the way that humans are does get discounted in these conversations, because a lot of people just want to be heard. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And there's other people who are smarter than that. Because based on my observation, bro, the ones that you talk about, like ignorant and dumb, the dumbest people tend to be the most tone deaf. I'm sorry. That's this is based off the ones that I've seen. It's the whole Dunning Kruger thing. They got a little bit of information, but they still dumb, and they jump out the window thinking that they know everything, but they only really know like one piece of a big pie, and they got the biggest mouths. They don't care about tone because they think they found the key. Those are the ones, the people who are a little bit smarter, who understand that they don't know everything. They tend to be less of the issue. They tend to have less of an issue with tone because they have humility, and they understand that I may be saying a thing to you, but you're also saying a thing to me, and we can learn from each other regardless of the position, regardless of, even if I'm helping you, you
Mm-hmm.
might say something that helps me. You see what I'm saying? But the ones who are just dumb think that they know everything. No, I'm gonna dictate to you. Fuck my tone. And my tone doesn't matter because I'm dictating to you. Those folks tend to be the dumbest. And I've seen you have to check that repeatedly, repeatedly, repeatedly. And then if you find out that they life don't match up with what they saying, and you got to really drop the hammer and say, man, you throw the tone to the side, like, yo, stop it, bro, stop it. Your your life is your life. Like, we see you. You know what I mean? And so it you got to read the room. You also don't jump out the window like that, right? You find different ways to say what you need to say before you eventually drop that hammer and have to be that harsh. If we're talking about helping people, I don't think you should jump out the window like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
100%. No, I think I understand the sentiments, right? I think the key to it, as you open up, is, tone matters, right? But there's things that are more valuable to information being passed, than the tone itself. You get lost in
correct.
tone, right? You may miss something. You will miss something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, as an orator, a leader, we understand that most people are moved by how you make them feel, right? Oftentimes people
Mm-hmm.
don't remember what happened, but they remember the feeling. And tone can
Correct.
often affect that. You know what I mean? Pretty exponentially.
Correct.
So it's a lot to be discussed. I just want to make sure that we brought it a little bit more to an understanding point. We don't ignore
An
tone.
understanding point.
Yeah, like
Right. Right.
I'll hear it, I'll catch it, I may log it, I may not react to it or respond to it, but I remember it though. Like I know when
Right.
certain people hit the link or panel, they got a way about them, snarky,
Mm-hmm.
passive aggressive, facetious, right? Because that's the
Yeah.
tone that they communicate with. So people ain't ignoring your tone. It's just that we may not react to it. So
Right. And
yeah,
also those people don't care about tone because they're not attached to the outcome.
yeah,
So they could pretty much say whatever they want to say and not even really, they don't have an incentive to care about tone, because whatever you do with your life, however I deliver it to you, I have no attachment to. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna say it how I feel like saying it.
yeah,
So there's that as
100%.
well.
Yeah. Nah, interesting, man. Damn
Yes,
fool.
sir.
I appreciate you, good brother.
Hey man, take it easy, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to you, man. Great show.
No doubt, no doubt. Appreciate you, my brother. Salute the Free Zone Lou in the building. UT, what's popping, man?
What up, bro?
What's the word?
Ain't nothing, man. Ain't nothing. Just been chilling. The this is a subject that me and you don't talked about plenty of times before. Just me and you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You when I came up, you was telling him exactly what I was going to say, far as like the snarkiness and the tone really ain't the thing to me. The stuff when you trying to make somebody look bad or say something smart is what gets me. But the tone included, it just seemed like it's the tone. It ain't. I don't think it's the tone, because a lot of people are really not yelling, but it's the how you trying to play me.
Yeah,
part.
100%. I think the key
It ain't-
is. My bad. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying I think the key is I'm saying that's the tone, bro. Like that facetious, that's their tone. Passive
Yeah.
aggressive, that's their tone. You know what I mean? And the thing is, people always act like the emotional person is the person that's the loudest. Nah. That person who starts being condescending and laughing while you talking and rolling their eyes, nah, that's emotional as hell. And that person's tone got caught, and I caught it. Now that I caught it, I'm on your ass.
Yeah.
You
And see,
know?
that was the thing, because me and Big Aaron Riri are cool, right? But a lot of time when me and him was at a certain point when me and him were talking, that was going on, and then when I reacted to it, it was like, "Oh, why you getting?" I'm like, "No, you just said that. You can't say that to a man or somebody that you saying that you respect and think I'm not gonna say something back to you, right?"
Yeah.
So, and I think we end up getting that straight. But at the time, it was like, "No, Aaron, you not gonna. I know you trying to play my intelligence like right now. So it's an issue. You can't do that. Don't do that."
Yeah,
And
I can.
that was the thing. And that was the thing about that's the thing about anybody. You know when somebody playing with you, because I'm not even playing with you at this time, but you said this, why? You know? And that what always got me with the panels and everything like that anyway. Because I have to, just like you say, it's certain people that's gonna do what they gonna do regardless if we face to face or not. But it's very rare that it's gonna be like that.
Yeah.
So and we know that because we seen meetups. We don't been to meetups. We don't see like everybody kumbaya, when we in meetups. So it ain't like that. But it's like with me, if I'm on that with you, I'm gonna be on that when I see you. You gonna feel it. Even if I don't say nothing to you, you gonna know that I'm with that. Like,
Yeah.
nah, me and you ain't cool, but me and him cool.
Mm-hmm.
That type of, I'm gonna be on that type of time. And I don't like to be on that type of time, but that's how my mind works, because now I'm always on defense mode with you now.
Yeah. Yeah. You gonna carry it in a particular way.
Right.
That's the one thing, like, that just I just see no reason to try to cross those lines on the internet, because I do feel, and I'm saying feel, like I would feel less of myself, like it's like I'm faking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm pump faking I'm sitting in my comfy house in my comfy chair. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no pants on right now, UT. And I'm talking shit. What if I make a mistake and stand up?
Right. So now you get excited. You're like, "Oh no, fuck! I know you ain't talking to me." Then you stand up like,
Yeah, I'm like, yo, like, thank God for this banner. You heard? It just I feel, and I'm saying feel, like I'm just like, that ain't it, you know. But people do. There's boundaries. You know what I'm saying? There really are boundaries. That have a lot to do with you trying to, embarrass me, right? Take a negative connotated tone with me, right? Tone denotes energy. You know what I'm saying? Body language is tone. I really do know that. You know?
right,
And so
right.
while you talking, if I'm rolling my eyes, laughing, sucking my teeth, you know what I'm saying? All that, right? We already got a
Yeah.
vibration before you even open your mouth about what I said.
Right.
You set the tone already.
It's already there. I felt the because it's you said it really. You said the disrespect by your body language.
Mm-hmm. I'll
So
never forget. I was on this panel, right? It wasn't mine. It was on Lapeef. And so JR had asked a question, right? And I'm like, JR, can you clarify? And then somebody laughed, right? Like, why? He's like, the question was obvious. I said, okay, you go first. I don't understand the question. You go first. And then the brother said, so JR, what did you mean by I'm like, why you did that? Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing crazy, but it was just like I read the body language, right? So I relinquished the floor, said, go ahead. And then it was like, oh, I do need to think through this. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, but the body language kind of set what could have been more negative than what it was. It wasn't a big deal, but I called on it like, okay, you go, right? Because I didn't understand it. Feel me?
Right.
Right. Because like you said, the body language can dictate a lot, right? It can define so much. You know?
Yeah, and you know, even certain body language, you can tell if somebody's really confused. Just like when you ask JR that question and you kind of like and you looking up in the air and you squint your eyes, I can tell he need clarification. Right? And JR probably knew that you needed clarification because like Hamp ain't no dumb dude. He usually can get it. So it's something that I didn't say that I may have missed that I needed to say. Which the other dude needed the same thing you needed, but I gotta play him because I don't want to look like the dummy.
Yeah, essentially, right? And the thing is, I didn't read too much into it. I took it for exactly what it was. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. It's not that deep, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But to your point, it could be read a whole lot of ways, right? So you got to be very careful. Like when people be talking, like if I'm listening or if I'm on a different panel, my face don't change that much while people talking.
Right.
Cause I don't want to be misread. I want you to hear what I'm about to say when I say it. You know what I'm saying? Cause I know that people will read into it. Oh, he gonna come off a particular way based on the faces I'm making.
Yeah.
I put that into the tone box, you know?
And I know I do that a lot, but mine be really either confusion or it be what it is. Cause I'm probably already on that when I came up, like whoever it is. Just like you say, somebody, most time if you coming up with that type of body language from the get-go, you already was on that when you came up there. You already knew what type of time you finna be on. So, and that's a bad thing because now your mind is not open to anything that the person's saying. So
yeah, 100%. Damn, man, it's an interesting convo, man. I just want to make sure we have a proper baseline for things like tone, emotion, right? Because all that stuff gets misconstrued so much to a point where people are just being, how you say, admonished, like like as an example, and this is a whole nother conversation, but just because you came up. You shout out to like Beans, Mr. Fantastic to a point. Y'all demonstrate when you talk, right? I don't know if you ever seen. Did you ever watch that show? Freaky Zeke was telling a story, and he had his legs up in the air, talking about somebody got shot. And I said it to you.
Yeah. I seen it. Yeah.
He looked crazy as hell, but he demonstrative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they'll miscategorize people who are demonstrative for emotional. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole lot.
I'm gonna tell you with me personally, I don't never unless somebody. A lot of times on the panel though, I ain't really never really mad at nobody, right?
Yeah,
when I come up there, so when I'm talking, I'm not talking at you. I'm just expressive, just like you said. I'm expressing what I'm saying because I'm like, okay, I know a lot of times I get tripped up on my words, so I just be trying to think it out, and now is coming through on my body language. So I'm just talking expressive, not yelling at him, but I'm yelling. I'm just trying to get it out. That's how I get out stuff. So
100%, and then, but it's misconstrued. Oh, this person emotional. So that's maybe another trope we gotta kind of mine through more. What makes a person quote unquote emotional? But yeah, man. Anything else, UT, before I get out of here?
Nah, that's it, man. That's it, man. I just want to get that out.
Hey man, good to see you. You know, we getting it rocking in Houston the 25th through the 28th. We got Risky Weekend. So
This month?
June.
May?
June. Yep. So we got a bunch of
I
good
might try to do
fights.
something.
Yeah, we might have 5 fights. Somebody challenged Mr. Fantastic yesterday. So we'll see
Yeah.
what's up. But yeah, I'll send you the
Who
link.
did it? Who did that?
A brother named Moo. I don't know if you ever seen him before.
Oh, no, I don't know what that is.
But yeah, we got 4 fights. We got 5 fights. Light Skin Nave versus Saw. Be Nice versus Uno. We got 6 fights. We got
Goddamn.
Bino versus Sporties. So
man, what y'all been doing since everybody want to fight? Took a couple of months. Everybody want to fight.
It's a beautiful thing, man. Pugilism, you know? But I'll send you the info for sure.
Oh, yeah, do that.
All right, bro. Be safe.
You too, bro.
Indeed. Salute. Oh, I thought that on. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Hey, man. I really appreciate y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the call-in show. Yeah, man, tone has its place, right? It matters. How much it matters, I think, is certainly a great thing that Free Zone pointed out. Setting, time, and place. If I catch you using shit that tone is that defines tone, like being facetious, being snarky, and I call it out, don't be surprised. Don't act willfully obtuse. Be careful to let things like tone exclude you from hearing the message, you know? So we have to make sense of everything and have a baseline and be realistic and logical about how we apply things and how much we let things affect us. Like what Rockstar was saying, you know? So I think it was an interesting conversation. I think it's dope. But let's stop this dismissing things, right? When we know that they have an effect, both positive and negative. In football, we say things like I had to set the tone, right? So there was one time, or a lot of times, where we would go off sides on first down, right? First play of the game, I would blitz, boom, knock the guard right over, right? If nobody was over him. You know, I got a 1 tech and a 5 tech. I knocked the guard over, boom. I set the tone for the game. You guys calm down. It's going to be what it's going to be. I'm setting the tone. I let them know what energy I'm coming with this game. So, you know what I'm saying? I think it matters. I think it's cool. I think don't let anybody control you, you know, and also stick by your principles. And this is Sparta, man. Your words have implication and residual effects and consequences. So be very cognizant of how you convey things. All right? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Please get y'all tickets to Houston. I think there's early birds left. I'm not 100% sure. But we're going to have tons of fun. I will see y'all tonight for the This Might Be Risky original show every Wednesday. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Oh, let me read the super chat. Sorry. Real quick. Carlisle, salute. Let me see. Let me go to my JJ, what up, my brother? Oh, I turned my damn board off. Salute to my brother JJ with the 20 ball, man. Shout out to JJ for getting right in the Get Fit room every morning, man, in the Discord. He said, yes, tone matters. When conveying a message, the goal is to ensure it's received by the recipient. This means managing tone and timing how the recipient interprets what you're saying, or else your message is fruitless. Rebecca with the 10 ounces. You can be right and still be wrong if your tone is off. Delivery matters just as much as the message. Tone reveals intent. Respect reveals character. That's a hell of a fucking super chat. Light Skin Nay said for the goal. Thanks to my sister Nay. I appreciate the love and support, man. CC, salute, said for the gold train. Indeed, man. Carlisle Tom with the 10 out says, changing your tone is part of communication. Simple example is a toddler. You warn the child that a thing is hot. You use words that they understand, and you change the tone to know the seriousness. Yep, 100%. Imperial with the $10 says, tone police are hypocrites when they don't police their own tones. Indeed, you have to have a barometer that reads the room and identifies what is appropriate or inappropriate. Weaponization is the villain. That is very substantive. Joel with the $5 says, off topic. Hamp was good. That's typo in a graphic is wow. LOL. That chat BT playing jokes on me, man. Yup. Let's get it, man. Hop in the Discord. Let's have some fun. I'll see y'all this evening. Most high willing, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Black Gold, what up? Salute to everybody. And we out.
Well, we can kill all this. We can kill all this. Say like, do you want to be next?
Anytime you ready, baby. I was supposed to be there.
Cool. I'm with it.
I'm
with it. We can do it.
Knocks out everybody and no one can whoop him. That's when that little Cassius Clay from Louisville, Kentucky came up and stopped Sonny Liston, the man who annihilated Floyd Patterson twice. He was going to kill me. He hit harder than George. His reach was longer than George. He's a better boxer than George. And I'm better now than I was when you saw that 22-year-old undeveloped kid running from Sonny Liston. I'm experienced now, professional. Jaws been broke, been lost, knocked down a couple times. Bad. Been chopping trees. I done something new for this fight. I done wrestled with an alligator. That's right. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick. Man, dude. Fast. Last night, I cut the light off in my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark. Incredible. Fast. Incredible. And you, George Foreman, all of you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him. All of you. I know you got him. I know you got him picked. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Eyes out.